polite as fuck.
Polite as fuck.
I met Alex when I went to school in Boise, and I thought she was the coolest girl. Her and her sister. No, literally, I was like, you and Sammy, I wanted to like be your best friend because you guys had the house and your cute decorations and you guys are best friends and just very fun people.
We thought the same thing about you.
Oh, thanks. For some reason, I was like, we're a few years apart. For some reason, I was hanging out with way older people than me. But I think it worked. I think we got along. And you're an interior designer. Very artsy. Alex does all the clubs. She does book reviews. What would you say about yourself?
Yeah, that's basically it. I work for a home builder and yeah. I love the clubs.
Own your own home?
Yeah.
She designed her house. That's it.
I want to own a house. That's like that's my goal. At some point. It keeps getting pushed further and further, but it's gonna happen.
When I came back from Friendsgiving, I had a bit of an existential crisis, if I'm being honest, because I was like, I just came back and Alex owns her own home and she's so cool and she does all these things. And what am I doing with my life?
Oh my gosh. If it makes you feel any better, I just had one like a couple months ago. So even though I have some of those things.
What was your existential crisis over?
I turned 35 and I'm just like, what am I doing now with my life? I don't know.
That question never goes away. Cool.
I'm like, I don't know.
What are you questioning? Like if your career or where you're living or all?
Yeah, everything. I mean, I like my career and I like where I live, but I just, I just kind of feel like stuck. I'm like, I don't know I just don't know what's next for me. So figuring that out.
What's next? One thing that Alex makes me laugh when I talk to her are the crazy dating stories that she has.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think you're intending them to be crazy. I don't think anyone is, but I thought we could talk about it because you have some of the wildest people.
I know. Hear them. I have only heard like little snippets because we wanted to save it for the podcast, but I've been like looking forward to this conversation.
Yes, I'm excited too. I was so excited when Erica texted me to be on. Yes. Can't wait.
Should we start with what is like if you had to think of a date that you've been on from a dating app?
Okay.
What is like the most outrageous date? It could be like the event itself, like what you guys did, or the person.
I don't know. I've just had weird experiences. Like there haven't been any crazy dates, just kind of like little weird things that happen on the date that I'm just like, oh, I don't know if like it's me that's thinking this is weird or I don't know. When I was thinking about these stories, I'm like, how do I make them so they're not like crazy long? Because each one I could like tell a million details about.
That's okay.
But this guy invited me over to his house to watch a movie. I'd never like been out with him before. I met him like through a friend of a friend, and he wanted me to pick the movie. And so I was like, okay, I'll pick like 3 movies for us to watch and like options, for him because I didn't know him. And he refused to do that. So I was like being stubborn too. I'm like, I'm not going to pick one. And he kicked me out. I was like, okay, you can leave.
What?
I was not expecting that. I thought he was going to be like, let's just watch all 3.
No, he's like, you have 10 seconds to leave. And he counted down. Yeah.
Did you slap this motherfucker? I'd be like, excuse me.
You want to know what's sad? I would never do this now, but I did. I just walked out and left, but I went on another date with him like 2 weeks later.
Girl. Oh,
I would never do it now.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Was the second date good at least?
No, I think I just kind of wanted to prove a point. Like, I'll still go out with you. I don't know what point I was proving, but
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh my God.
that that didn't affect me.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Would you say you mostly are meeting guys on apps or in person?
Yeah, very rare. I'd like to meet more in person. I've been trying, but none of the clubs I'm a part of, like, attractive guys go to.
Well, tell them what clubs you're a part of, because the one I saw in your Instagram story. It's cute.
Today, I'm part of Preservation Idaho. It's like an architecture history group. Everyone there is like over 60. And then like book club and I take tennis lessons, things like that.
I feel like though, like those would be good chances to meet people. Like you would think so.
Yeah, but I don't know. Someone told me the other day, I was telling someone in my tennis class that, and she's like, guys don't take lessons. They don't take tennis lessons. They just go out and play. I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're just gonna like play until they get good.
Yeah. Yeah, like casually. I'm sure like, like professionals do, but
That's a good point.
But yeah, usually the apps.
When do you think like your crazy like date interactions or experiences like started to happen? Do you feel like you've always kind of like been attracted to this kind of like, you know what I mean? Or has it just kind of like been like something that you've like grown into? I mean, it sounds fucking fun. I love stories. I mean, I've only heard one, but I'm like, I love it.
Like 5 years ago, I never used to like message guys back on apps. Like occasionally I would, but it was very rare. And then, yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, okay, I need to get kind of serious about this. And yeah, so I started sending messages, and I like guys like their profile that's kind of, they don't put like a ton of effort into it. Like it's more like casual photos and like not like really like curated like responses. Like I like kind of quirky guys too. So I think that's where I get like kind of some extremes sometimes. And I don't send a lot of messages like back and forth. I would prefer to start with like a FaceTime or phone call. Even if they live in Boise, I try to start with that first to save some time. I don't know. And so I've had some weird calls. Yeah.
I get nervous. I feel like if you've never actually met them and then you're like, let's hop on a FaceTime.
A little bit, but I'm used to it now.
At what point at the start of this like journey where you're like, okay, I really got to start like putting myself out there and, making some moves on my end. At what point were you kind of like, okay, this is a lot of crazy? Yeah,
there's been multiple times where I've been like, I need to learn from this experience and not repeat it. Like, sometimes I'll go meet guys that don't live in like the Boise area. For some reason, I don't go on a ton of dates with guys that live here. I'd like to, but I don't know. I'm just not meeting a lot. So, I met someone and he lived in Seattle, and he invited me to go visit him. And we had been on like 1 or 2, like a breakfast date when he was driving through town. And it wasn't like, it didn't blow my mind or anything, but I just thought I'd like to get to know him a little bit more. I don't know. We had like some common friends, and he like was really good on paper. Like he's very attractive and had a good job and stuff. And so he invited me to go visit him in Seattle for like 3 days. And I'm probably not the best. I've learned to be a better communicator after this, but we didn't talk a lot beforehand. And so like maybe for like a month, we were like just texts here and there. And so I just went kind of with like, okay, well, I'm sure he has something fun planned. And he had a guest room I could stay in. And so I just thought, I don't know, when you go visit someone, they usually provide you food and and they usually have like something like planned, like they're going to take you out on some dates. And when I went there, he didn't have anything planned at all. And like for multiple times we only ate like 1 meal a day. I was starving the whole time. And he dropped me off so he could he didn't work on the weekend, but he dropped me off so he could go into work while I was there. And he had to take a nap a few times. I don't know. It was just, and he worked on his house. He's like tiling his backsplash. He's like, are you good like reading or watching TV for a little bit while I'm working on this project? I'm like, I'm only here for 2 days and it's to see you. Like, and anyway, I lied to him. Well, oh, one other thing. We did go on a hike, and it was like an 8-mile hike, 4 miles to this lake and 4 miles home. And we made it to the lake, and he was like, would you be mad if I like ran back to the car? He's like, you're welcome to run with me, but and I was wearing chacos, like I wasn't prepared to run. And so I was like, sure, go for it. And I didn't keep up with him. I just met him back at the car. So anyway, I was very over it at the end. And I lied to him that my flight left a day early. And I just spent the day by myself in Seattle, and it was amazing. I ate food and I wanted.
He was able to, Oh my God.
So after that, I was like, okay, if I'm going on these trips, I need to ask a lot of questions before, not just be spontaneous. If I'm staying at his house.
To fly you out there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you spent money for that.
But still, it's like time, and I thought maybe he just wasn't into me or something, but no, he texted me like multiple times since then. It's really weird.
Oh my God. I think sometimes it just like, there's no clicking in there. It's just a lot of banging around. It's like the pendulum, just like back and like, just, oh my God. That's wild.
I just can't fathom someone coming to visit me. We go on a hike and I go run 4 miles away from them. Are you kidding me?
The only thing I could come up with is I'm like, maybe like he was almost 40 and he's never married, never had a girlfriend. So I'm like, maybe he just doesn't know, like he's just used to doing his own thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that is a very telling thing to me though, of like, if that's your first date and he doesn't even like try and make any sacrifice to like accommodate you in his life.
That's true.
Wow. Okay, what's the furthest you've gone to meet up with a guy you've met maybe once or twice or never met before?
Oh. Thailand. He didn't live there.
Okay.
We decided to meet in a neutral location. So, yeah.
Thailand is the most neutral. What was the context? How did this come to be?
We started talking on an app, and I don't know. He suggested like meeting. He lived very far away from me. He didn't live close. So he just was like, why don't we just meet in like a place that you want to go? Like both of us wanted to travel to. And yeah, we landed on Thailand.
Was that your first time like meeting in person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just talked on the phone and FaceTime before that, but everyone thought I was crazy.
Do you think you're crazy after you've done it now?
No, that's another lesson I learned, is to never do a trip over like 3 days, because it was like over a week and we didn't like each other when we were with each other in person. And it was just like, do I leave this person or stay? And I don't know. It ended up fine. I felt good about it after. I was like, wow, I feel like confident. Like I can do anything now.
I mean,
have you guys ever traveled to meet someone?
I've like traveled for the guy I'm dating.
Okay.
But not like to meet. I don't think so. To meet someone for the first time. In high school, I did dumb things, and like with like, there was this one time I had met this kid at like a swim meet. He lived in Truckee, which is like an hour away from where we lived. And I had like just got my license, and drove all the way there to meet him, and like had lied to my parents. And then I had left my phone at his house. So then when I drive all the way back and I don't have my phone, then I had to make up another lie and like Facebook message him to be like, can you meet me here in like an hour, and drive back and go get my phone. And that's probably like the most like extreme, just to meet up with someone because I was a teenager and crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. My friend the other day, she's like, Alex, you're a romantic. Like, I don't know. I just think I was just like an optimist. Like, I'm like, oh, it'll be a good story and it's fun. Like, it's locations I want to go. And I don't know.
I mean, it is. They're good stories. And that is, I love that attitude of like, whether it works out or not, you wanted to go to that place. So why not go?
Yeah.
I don't want to bring like the mood down, but do you ever like feel like unsafe? Like
No.
an unsafe like story or the moment, any stories that you feel like you were like, I'm dipping because of my like some, you know what I mean? Because that is what comes to my mind. I'd be like, this guy's gonna, oh my God, I could never go to Thailand.
I really talked to them a lot before and I know that doesn't, I mean, people can say anything, but I I talked on the phone and FaceTime. And usually if I don't have a friend in common, like I'll get a place to stay and make sure like I have my own transportation or something and meet them like in a neutral place first.
Gotcha.
Or yeah, like I'll do some research. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in completely blind.
What is like your process? So as far as like apps, do you have like an app that's like your favorite, and then you match with a guy, and like how do you know? Because in my mind, I'm not a fan of the apps, but when I'm on it, I have it specific to this area. So like what is your like settings to? And then once you've matched with them, is there like, I hate to say it, maybe it's because I've done interviews all day today, but is there like a screening process that you like take them through to like see if they are checking some of these boxes for you?
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm on like Hinge and Mutual. It's like this Mormon dating app, and Bumble. I hardly ever use Bumble. I hate it because I never respond in enough time, or I feel like they don't either. So but I like Hinge. Hinge, I don't know if do you guys know that you can like change your location from where you're at?
No.
Like I could change. Yeah. I taught someone this the other day. You can
from like where you're staying. Wait, do you know that? I think you might have told me that before.
I know. I mean, I've done it when I've gone to a different place, but like I could set it even if I'm not there.
Yeah, like you could set it to Boise now. You want?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I think Boise was the place that I changed it to when I was there. I was like, I wonder.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Let's see, what am I looking for? Yeah, just kind of I don't like model photo. If guy has like a model photo, I'm like, no, not interested.
I'm the same. I'm like, if it's too like perfect,
yeah,
just wouldn't
You're
match.
like not a real, yeah.
Anything mostly that like will say like extreme like deal breakers. If they're like, I'm looking for someone that's not these things, or you know, like I'm looking for someone that's more open-minded. So I think I won't be drawn to those people that are more, I don't know, they feel kind of judgmental to me or harsh.
Yeah.
But and then yeah, when I'm on the phone call with them, if it's someone I'm thinking about meeting, I'll try to bring up like deeper how they do with like a deeper conversation, or like maybe like a controversial topic I'll try to bring up and see like not really like a test in like how they're going to what they're going to say, but more like how they respond to it, if they're like open to talking about things like that. I don't know.
That's smart.
More vulnerable.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you usually have to like instigate them like to meet up with you, or is it pretty like even?
It's pretty even. Yeah. Maybe I instigate the phone call like a lot, but meetup is pretty even.
How do you feel about voice prompts then? If you like,
I hate them.
They're the worst.
I don't really love either the voice messages you can send either, like through Hinge. I got one today and I was like, why did you feel the need to send that over a voice memo or whatever? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
See, I feel like the voice prompt, like when they respond with a voice prompt, it like ick. But if we're talking, like if I matched with them and they send it, then I'm like, oh, that's okay, because like I was already interested, and like this is a personal message and not like a weird one that you put on your profile.
Yeah, I can, if it's someone that's good with messages, I could see that where it would be.
No, but they just make it so weird. They try too fucking hard and it sounds like, hey, what are you doing today? And like, I had such a good day at work. And I'm like, stop. Just stop. It's too weird for me. Or they're like,
I feel too.
It's like, or they're doing some sort of like activity, like running up the stairs, like, I just got done with the gym. And I'm like, okay, this is enough. I've had enough of this.
Oh, I did think of one other thing is, if someone like immediately, I've had people that want like instigate the meeting, but they want me to come to them. Like they're like, you should come see me, and like not offering like for travel or like pay for travel or anything like that. I'm like, well, why don't we talk about like, maybe you could come see me? Why can't you come see me? Or I don't know. I just don't like when they immediately like, expect me to put in all the effort.
Yeah, like to drop like everything. There's no like mutual respect there. It's like, just drop everything and come see me. Like, no, I need something in return here.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. How many dates would you say, do you know this, have been in Boise versus you traveling somewhere?
I can't decide if I want to say this.
Okay. You don't have to.
Because I do have a list.
Yes.
I made like a dating rap. Some of my friends were like, remember, did you guys ever see those on like TikTok or anything?
Wait, I've
She's
been
doing
making
one
for this year.
You have?
I want her to do like a presentation at the end of the year, like a PowerPoint presentation with all of it. That's what I'm hoping for. my Christmas present. You guys should both do it and present it. That would be fun.
Yes. Awesome. I have a spreadsheet. I did one last year and I made one this year.
Love it.
I told someone that and they got like turned off by it major. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I should tell people that.
Fuck it. That's my motto.
I mean, if they're a good date, then you're going to keep going on dates with them and then your list doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I actually think it's kind of helpful because like next to each date, I write like what we did and then like my thoughts, like how I felt after the date. And I was like, wow, it's like kind of nice to track that way. And I don't trust myself like 2 weeks later thinking, wait, did I have fun on this date? I don't have a good memory. So
that's nice. I'm writing all the things that they did that irritated me. My ex.
All of them. There's at least 3 on every single one.
Really? I can't wait to see that. If you post it, at least send it to me, please.
Yeah. I think it's good though to like, especially to your point of like, if you want to go on another date with them, like I felt guilty myself when I've gone on second dates with someone and I go and add them back in my note and I'm like, I didn't enjoy the first date. And now I'm writing another note that I went on another date with them and I didn't enjoy the second date. Like, why did I do that?
Yeah, I think by looking at that, last year I did go out with more guys in Boise than I expected, but not as many like second dates. So,
do you feel like when you've had a mediocre first date and you're like, I'll give the second date a chance, are you ever surprised by it, or it's usually like, oh yeah, I don't like them?
It's usually no. I don't know. I still do it because I would want someone to do that for me.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe I don't know. I do think like some of my relationships have come from the profiles that I initially probably wouldn't have swiped on, that like by just looking at some of their photos, I'm not like really super attracted. I mean, I think they're cute, but I'm not like super like attracted to them yet. It's just by getting to know them in person. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I gave that a shot, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, as far as the spreadsheet, I just think it's more so like the way I think of it is, or how I'm trying to approach dating is, I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me. I'm trying to, at the end of the day, like, of course, a partnership, whatever stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I'm still like, I only get one life and I'm trying to experience it. And I'm also like trying to learn about myself and what makes me like a good partner. The only way I can do that if I am in situations to be, mimic a partner, like a partnership. And I feel like, fuck yeah, do a spreadsheet, do your presentation.
That's it. On these like trips that I've been on, I do feel like I learned so much about myself and what I'm looking for, like through that, like being put in those like kind of like more of a pressure situation, like being with someone 24/7 for like 3 days. I'm like, okay, like I really like this quality or that, or maybe I didn't handle that. I need to work on my communication or my like,
Exactly. Yeah.
how I approach these situations. So yeah, I don't know.
No,
Not for everyone though, but
yeah, I don't know if I could do like to that extreme. I can't even fucking do one. Sometimes I'm like, I've had enough. But I mean, obviously, probably not like naming like top 5 or top 10, but when you think of these experiences, you must have a few that like kind of surface to the forefront of your brain. Like, do you have a list of some that just like really stick out, whether it's like really crazy, really fun, they were like great people, worst people, you know what I mean? Like some that just really come up there.
yeah. I was just on one of these trips. I just got back on Tuesday. I went to Chicago. I went on dates with him like 2 years ago. I went on 2 dates with him I met him on like, he said Tinder, but I'm like, I've never talked to anyone on Tinder. I've been on it just for like research purposes, but we matched on Hinge and went on a couple of dates and didn't talk for like quite a while. And we like kind of connected again on Instagram, and he invited me to go be like his +1 at a wedding. And it was so much fun. Like all of his friends were like really cool. And it was just a fun experience. The wedding was like in downtown Chicago, and there's like live bands and food and dancing and everything. So I liked that. We had like a lot of fun there too. I don't know where that's going to go, but and then another time, I don't know, there's been I've had more good than bad, I guess. Like I went to visit someone in Arizona that he was like very like, he had a whole like itinerary like presented to me before. And it was all like really fun activities, and I got to like see the city and yeah, I appreciated his like what's it called? What's the word? When someone comes to your house and they're like a host. He was a good host. That's the word I was going for, but that's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So I guess like not dating related, not to fully change the subject.
No, you're fine.
I just like, because I know you a little bit, I feel like you keep a level head and like do all these cool things and don't necessarily like maybe you do, but you pull yourself together. Like the hardships of like dating prevent you from continuing to like do all this cool stuff in your life. Would you say that's accurate? And like, what do you do to kind of keep yourself motivated and inspired to continue doing
Sometimes it can be hard to be like optimistic, and I hate when people are like, why aren't you like in a relationship? Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing's wrong. But I just decided a while ago that anything, like I wasn't going to wait to do things until I was in a relationship or married or whatever. And that, I don't know, I'm just an optimist. I try not to let it get me down. I just think, okay, there's someone out there, and I'm having fun, and yeah.
You say
It can be kind of lonely sometimes. Like I just moved to a new town where there's not like any single people. And but I don't know, just being involved in a lot of things has helped, and putting myself out there in dating and just in like other situations. I think it kind of like, it's not, I don't always want to go, like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do like another phone call or first date or whatever. And then I take a little break, or I'm just like, I don't know, I don't want to be like rusty, you know. That's what one of our friends used to always say, like, you don't go out or talk to someone for a long time, like when you meet someone you really like, you're going to be awkward and weird because you haven't been like, I don't know, practicing, I guess.
That's a good point.
So yeah,
I think that's good. Like being in tune with yourself enough to know, like, I need a break, like step away, because it is like, especially the constant, like getting your hopes up and positive, and then being like, okay.
Yeah. No, I let myself cry or just vent to like my friends. I'm sure like I feel like people are tired of hearing about like my stories, dating stories, but yeah, venting or I don't know, shopping. I'm just kidding. I don't reading, buying some books. Yeah. I know the things that make me happy, thrifting. So
What'd you say?
Oh, I said, and my family. I had to throw in something like that. Oh, I was going to say one other thing that like immediately I don't like is if someone like leads with like wanting like photos, or I have a lot that do that. And I'm like, even, I don't know, it's just really weird to me that so I just am like, okay, it doesn't feel genuine. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they're looking for a relationship. They're just, wanting to hook up with someone. So.
Yeah. Are they like asking for like nudes, or they're just like, can I see a picture of you?
I don't know. I think my mind automatically goes there. Like I had a couple, like one guy was like, send me a good night photo. And I'm like, good night photo?
What is that? Ew.
It just send them an all black picture.
I usually just send like my like a screenshot of my Instagram. I'm like, here you go. Here's all the photos you want.
That's smart. Also, like you have pictures on your profile. So
yeah. So then that's why I just assume, okay, I mean, maybe they're not wanting that, but that's where my mind goes.
Yeah, definitely. Would you say that and this is like kind of like personal, and at least for me, like it changes all the time, but what would you say you're like looking for right now as far as like dating? Like what is your purpose going on these trips?
Yes. I think I'm just going on them because it's just like the opportunity. Like I would rather date someone in Boise if I can find someone. But yeah, I think I do feel like I'm getting so close to like finding someone that I'm looking, like the type of person I'm looking for, I guess. I think before I had this like very like narrow like vision of what that person would be like, or what their career, I don't know, just like and now I'm just kind of more open to like different background or different, as long as like our like core like values are the same, as long as they're like kind and open-minded and like disciplined. I don't know. So yeah, I think just learning, they just help me learn what I'm looking for and a better understanding of that. And
yeah. Have you ever dated any of the people, like long-term dated any of the people that you've seen, and how long has have those like relationships lasted, or are they on like the serious end?
Yeah, like 6 months ish. Like it's been like the longest. I've like a couple. it's so hard to start a relationship long distance.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Right now, right now, I feel like it's one of my own. I mean, if I don't meet someone here, it's like my only option right now. So I'm just kind of seeing what happens. I'm open to moving, or like hopefully they move here, ideally. But I've never like felt like, yeah, I don't. We'll
Yeah.
see.
What would you say your love language is?
Mm. Words of affirmation.
Okay.
I've always been so embarrassed to say that
Why?
because I don't know. It just, to me, I feel like needy for some reason by saying that. But yeah.
I feel like though that like lends itself not well, like no one loves long distance, but like
Mhm.
if you're not a physical touch person, like that's not your number one, then you can likely do long distance better as long as they're communicative
Yeah.
some way.
Yeah. I think that for sure helps. So I don't know. The thing that I think has been kind of a struggle in the last like few have been, I mean, just you only see someone like every few weeks. You kind of get this, and you talk to them a lot on the phone. You get like an idea, or you make up like, if you have like a good imagination, you make up what it's going to be like when you see them, or I don't know, just have this idea of them that doesn't like always like translate to when you're together. So I think that's what I have struggled with long distance
It's
both
the
ways.
story of my
But
life. Oh my God.
You like almost put them on this pedestal because
yeah,
you know them
You
in
don't
day to
know.
day.
Yeah.
yeah.
You really do
So,
build it up in your head. You like, especially if they're saying the right things over text or over a phone call, that you really do
mhm.
kind of like paint this picture, which is all great. And then you meet them in real life. Not to say that they're not decent people. They're just like, you just get your mind like all worked up in a different way. And you're like, damn.
I know it's easy to like be disappointed. And I feel like it's other way for them too. So I don't know what the best way to get around that is, but that's something I've had a problem with multiple times. So we'll see.
Would you say, and this might be like younger Alex or maybe never Alex, that you're ever like, Ellie and I were talking about this. Like,
Okay.
this guy's just really hot. I don't
Mhm.
necessarily care if he's like someone I mesh with. I just want to make out with him.
Oh, uh, in the past for sure. um, Now not as much. I don't know. Here and there.
Yeah.
If I'm in a mood, but I don't know. It's just not as fun anymore.
Yeah, I get that. Like the physical intimacy stuff isn't as like thrilling when you don't have
Yeah,
a connection with someone.
yeah. So it's been a while.
What about reverse? Like you are vibing with someone and then you guys make out and you're like, ah.
Yeah, I'm like, mostly it's like, oh, like a hygiene thing, like, oh, he doesn't like have good breath. or or I see his house and I'm just like, I'm scared right now. Like it's like I was staying with someone and he didn't have like a clean towel. He's like, here, use this old crusty towel from the corner. I'm like, you're in your 30s, like
Together, man.
yeah, I'm just like, I don't, it's not a deal breaker, but definitely turned me off.
Oh yeah, for sure. Going into someone's personal space is like you learn a lot about a person.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can be messy, but I don't know. If someone's coming over like for like the first time and I'm expecting it, I'm going to clean up.
That's like the decent thing to do.
I think so.
Are there like first dates? Like Ellie and I have talked about that we don't like going to people's houses for a first date. Are there like things that you're like, I won't do this on a first date, or like
Yeah,
what?
I don't like that either. Um, yeah, first date. I mean, just the obvious like a house or movie, going to the movies. I'm not really a huge fan of. Like, I like just like even I tell people like on Hinge and stuff. Sometimes I'll just like, let's just go on a walk. Like, I don't really care. I just want to go like get to know you and be kind of like act like a walk or a hike. Like, or I mean, I like dinner. It's kind of basic, but or some sort of activity like it's easy. Like some guy took me to do horseshoes once, and that was kind of fun. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've ever like officially played horseshoes before.
I know that was like I've done it like 1 or 2 times since then, but
Oh, that's fun.
it was kind of fun. Yeah. So
Do you have a best first date that stands out in your mind?
I don't know. Actually, this is like second dates, not first.
Maybe a second date. The
But
best date you've ever been
because I like a first date meeting somewhere. I don't want to. I don't want to go. Like I want to be able to drive to meet them. So um, those aren't really that exciting. But I think like a second date, if they take me to go show me like a spot like in where they live that they like something scenic or or like a really I don't know, just a place they go to daily or something. I think it's kind of fun. Like their favorite, like I don't know, restaurant or something. Who knows? I think what makes it great to me is just if it's someone that I already like is easy to talk to, is as long as they put in effort to plan something, I'm having a great time. Like I'm enjoying talking to them and they thought of something before that they want to show me or take somewhere they want to take me. So I appreciate the effort. Because some people are just like, where do you want to go eat? Here, let's go back to my house and after and sit in the hot tub or something, which can be fun, but it's not really, I don't know.
Yeah.
No planning goes into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where would you take someone if you're planning the date?
Oh. Where would I take someone? I like to, is this a first date or just any date?
Would you want it to be the first date?
No.
Okay.
If it was a first date, I would just say, let's go walk on the green belt or go on a bike ride on the green belt because I like to do that. Or behind my house, there's like a canal. Is that lame? I don't know.
No, not at all.
I think dates like that are good. Like in San Diego, I'm like, let's go walk along the beach.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And I love hot springs. So usually like second or third date, I'm like, let's go like check out one of these like natural hot springs. So like the outdoors and chill.
You definitely have like, you're not crazy about it. You know, I feel like the way that you're approaching it is very like smart and you like very
Secure.
like, yeah, secure and, you know, are able to like read people very well to like not put yourself in crazy positions. But how do you feel yourself like not falling down this like love rabbit hole? Because I've been in like similar, now that you're like saying some of these stories, I'm starting to realize that like I've done some pretty crazy things for some like relationships, like, you know, my last one. And I had met this guy at a summer camp and he lived in England, and then we like stopped talking for like 2 years and then started talking like 2 months before Christmas. And he was like, you should come to England. And I was like, okay. And so it was my first time out of the country and I flew to England, and then we started dating like 2 days into the trip. And then I flew back, I graduated college, and he was like, the only way for us to be together is if we moved to Australia. And so then I moved to Australia for 2 years.
What?
Yeah, I can fall down. I like fall in love very quickly because I just like love. And it's like, I don't necessarily regret it. I think it put me exactly whatever, like great. I'm exactly where I need to be. But if I was presented with that situation again, I feel like my guard would be completely up because I'm going to be like, I'm going to fall in love with you and make all of these decisions. Like, Anyway, long story short, how do you find yourself not doing that?
I have before. Like, I was not the Arizona guy I told you about before, but another Arizona guy. I felt like we dated for like 6 months, and I'm like, okay, I would potentially see myself moving to Arizona for him. And then he had a dream. Well, anyway, I don't know if I want to get into that, but he broke up with me because of a dream. No, that's what excuse he said, but
He what? No. Can we please talk about it? That is ridiculous. Who are these men?
We went camping and he was like, I had a dream last night. Well, he was acting really weird for like 2 days. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And then he's like, I had a dream about my ex and I feel like I want to try again with her. I'm like, okay. But he's like, but I need to think about it for a month. We need to like not talk for a month. And then we'll see if I miss you or if I still want to get back with her, like we can take a month break. And I cried like every day for a month. And I waited. Like I was hopeful still that we'd get back together. And anyway, yeah. So I learned from that. I think I try to be, yeah, it's hard because I don't want to be like cynical about dating and situations like that, but I still and like learn from them, but I still want to be optimistic. So I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I definitely feel like you're inspiring me to go like out there. I just feel like, yeah, sometimes I just meet people or like people that come from my past and they want me to do crazy things. And I'm just like, okay. And then I do it. And then I find myself not necessarily regretting it, but just like, I wonder if that was the best decision for me to be making, you know? So I just feel like at the same time, you'll never really learn unless you do it. So you kind of have to do it. So
yeah.
So like, there's a difference between
tell me
experiences with new people that are like maybe crazy and going back to the same person with crazy experiences and thinking you're going to get a different
that felt
result.
pointed. That feels pointed. New or old people, it doesn't matter. It's still a trip, right? Do you ever, I mean, okay, do you, if the date was good or like you had a good experience with a guy, but he's like not the best guy, but then it's been like a back and do you ever have like guys that you hold on to that are just, you know, you continue to go out and see, you know, and it's been a while, there's not maybe really like a future there, but they're always in your back pocket. Do you have those guys? Shut up.
No.
Okay, well,
I'm too good at cutting people out. Like I'm just I can be like avoidant, so I'm good at avoiding them. Cutting them out.
Like just do you ghost people or you tell them straight up like this isn't working, I don't think we should talk?
I've come back and forth about this, but I just kind of treat it like, I guess, like how I would want to. Like if I've talked to them or like multiple times on the phone, like at least over 5 times or FaceTimed or met them in person and they like reach out to me, I'll tell them. And talk to them about it, you know, but if we just talked on the phone like once, I'm never going to talk and they text me, I'm just probably not going to text back. I don't know. I've had some guys text me like after one date and maybe I like reached out to them again and they were just like, I'm not interested, or I don't know, gave me this like full explanation. I'm like, well, I wish you would just ghosted me. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's better.
I get that, especially when it's like they don't really know you, you don't really know them. So you can take things more personally because you're like, what?
Yeah. It's like, well, I didn't really like you that much either, but another shot. No, I don't know.
That's good. I need to just work up my courage and date new people and stop going back to old people, I think. So
Yes.
that's that consensus.
I'm guilty of it too. It's hard. It's a comfort thing.
Yeah.
When you know.
Except for there's no comfort there. I don't know what is drawing me back, but I guess I don't know.
Did you have any dating questions for us before we get into book review?
I asked you if you would travel to meet someone. I don't know sometimes I talk to people and they're like, I wouldn't travel like 30 minutes to go out with someone. Do you guys have like a limit or that you'll date? Or how do you feel about people? This is another question. This might be a better one. I don't know. You can answer either one, but how do you feel about, I had a guy text me, or not text me. I matched with him on Hinge in another city. And when he found out that I didn't live there, he like gave me this big long lecture about how I was like messing up the dating pool there and I should stay like dating in my own city. And he's tired of like tourists like being on dating apps. I don't know.
First of all, okay. Who are you to give me this fucking speech, dude? Like, what are you, the fucking app police? Like, shut the fuck up, okay? Like, what? And to answer your question, I feel like more recently, I've been very strict with myself on how far I'm going to be going. I just I don't think it's worth my time. But then it's gotten to the point where I've like just stopped going at all. I just feel like going back to what I said, that I would really travel like any distance for someone that I have had like a connection with, whether like, say like we've like, even on the app, like if we've messaged or if we like matched and then like messaged and even like phone called a bit and like had like some sort of conversation where it's like, shit, like I actually want to like meet this person. I would drive, I would go like do that. I feel like for just like a plain old match and then a message saying like, let's hang out and I don't really know anything about you, I would say, I don't think 30 minutes is too long. I would say like, well, I don't know if that's because like you have to get anywhere and it'll take 30 minutes in San Diego, but
oh yeah.
Like even still like maybe like an hour is like probably the max for me.
Yeah, I feel like we'd have to have he would need to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just going to be like, go up there and see what happens. Like, I want you to like, tell me what we're doing so I can like prepare and go and we go do that thing.
Yeah.
But I'm probably similar. I think I'm a lover too. Like I like that idea and I want to see if it can pan out into something.
Yeah. I just feel like they're more like they're really looking, if they're willing to go a little bit out of their like what's easy for them or convenient, then it's like they're being really genuine and they're looking for a relationship too, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. No, I would say like showing effort, which in my experience is very rare. So
Aww.
I tend to go for very emotionally unavailable men, and I really have to like egg them on, and like I feel like I'm like putting on a show and like let's go do this thing.
I used to be into that, into guys like that too. My sister was like, Alex, you try to date the most like the I don't know, yeah, the most like unavailable guy that like isn't interested at all. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, it's fine.
It's like a challenge.
I know, that's what it is. It's like, I'm gonna overcome it and fix you.
Yeah, but I went to therapy. Hopefully that helped me a little bit.
Therapy is good. Do you think there's like an age range, like when you notice that they're more willing to put in effort, or does it really just vary?
Varies. I date younger and older guys, but I don't know. I usually like younger guys.
Do you have like a city, like a specific city that you're just like, oh, I'm gonna look in this city because you don't have like a favorite guy city?
No.
Yeah, how do you choose your location if you're changing it?
I don't know. I don't like constantly change it. Just if I'm traveling like for work, or I just like want to go do something somewhere, then I'll look. But
Do you put on your profile like that you aren't there? Like, do you hint that you're like gonna travel or
Oh
something?
yeah, good question.
no, but when we after we match, I'll be like, so I don't live here. Like, how do you feel about that?
Okay. Do you say it like pretty early on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't know. What ages do you guys date? Do you like to date younger, older, or what?
No, I do not do younger. I'm so sorry. This is a no-no for me.
I feel like I like going out with younger guys because there's more like energy, like more funk.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, I'll tell you.
But then I like usually on the date, this is all generalization, but 9 times out of 10, I'm like, I can feel myself becoming irritated because it's like immaturity in my mind. I'm like, you're funny, but like stop. Like now you're just being annoying. And but sometimes I've gone on dates with like older guys and I'm like, this is so boring. Like this is too just dull. There's no like life in this. I don't know if it's an age thing or if it's just like the dates that we've done, but
Yeah. It's scary because I feel like as I'm getting older and dating like older, like I have gone dates guys in their 40s, and even me sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be so set in, this is just something I worry about. That I don't want to be like set in my ways and do like have like weird like habits or weird, like things that how I have to have these things a certain way in my house or whatever, and because I can sense it and see it in other people when I go out with like a lot older guys. And I don't know, maybe that's why I don't love like the old like guys in their 40s. I'm just like,
yeah. But I think it's like self-awareness and like you're a social person and you have like you
true.
host people, like you're not like just this recluse living at your house that like only goes on dates occasionally. Not saying that's who you're dating, but like
Yeah, I definitely try to stick to my age. I think it just is helpful because I'm like, we're kind of going through the similar things, and it makes it a little bit more like easy for me to gain a better picture of like what they're going through and like what kind of like relationship or what experience this is going to be. I feel like with younger people, I'm like, you haven't even seen the world, little baby. And then for like older people, I'm just like, are you going to talk down to me? What is this to you? I'm not sure. At least I feel like with people my age, if you're acting immature, it's not because of your age, it's because you're immature. And then that kind of answers the question. Where I feel it's like someone younger, I'd be like, oh, he's just immature. Like he'll grow out of it. There's still a chance there. I would see it as a challenge. And so I'm like, I'm not even going to do
it. Yeah.
Book review?
Yeah. Is this a good segue? Was there anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay. Outside of dating, as I've said, Alex does a bajillion other things. And I love your book reviews. Everyone should follow her on Instagram or TikTok. Do you have a TikTok?
I do, but let's stick to Instagram.
The content, I don't know if you like mean to be funny with some of your stuff, but it cracks me up.
I think I am, but I don't know what you think is funny on my page. So I don't know. Sometimes I post, I feel a little like nervous when I post book reviews. I'm like, no one's asking for this, but
I love them.
I love it.
Like the green screen and she's like a little tiny head floating, giving her book review.
Oh my gosh, wait, I love this.
Both of you like to read?
I love to read.
Okay.
I'm like upset. That's why I'm like, okay, book review. That's why I screamed it. I don't know why. I had to say it so loud.
Okay. Well, I hope I covered some of the type of books that you like to read. I wrote down.
Excited.
Where should I start? Just anywhere?
Yeah. Wherever your review takes.
Okay. Okay. I just wrote down a couple books in like each category that I like, and I wrote down very brief.
Oh, perfect.
Synopsis. Okay. Since we were talking about dating, I want to start with some books that have helped me with dating.
Yes.
Okay, so this one is called Calling in the One, and it's more of like a workbook. Have you guys heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's very cheesy, the title. I get very embarrassed whenever I show anyone about it, but it's like each day, it's kind of like a manifestation thing. Each day they give you a little like thing to read and then an activity to do, and it's more like finding out what you're looking for. And on Goodreads, everyone's like, after I read this book, I found my husband or I found my boyfriend.
Okay.
So,
So
and it happened for one of my
Yes.
friends. I told one of my friends to read it and it happened. So I like to tell people to read that book.
Yes.
Calling in the One. Okay.
Calling in the One. Hasn't worked for me yet, but um, The Assertiveness Guide for Women. It's like very kind of basic look into like how to like set boundaries and communicate like what you're looking for and like identify your emotions and all of that and like your attachment styles. So
I need that.
yeah, I didn't know any of that until I read that one and I liked it a lot. Okay, let's get to the fun books now. I'll go to romance. Okay, this one is called On the Island. It's about two people that are like stranded on an island, and over a long period of time they fall in love.
Oh, love it already.
Really good. I love survival books and I love romance. The Idea of You. It's kind of like a guy like in a boy band. I don't know. I thought of Harry Styles when I read it, even though he's not in like a boy band anymore, but that's what I was envisioning. He falls in love with a woman like in her late 30s or 40s, and it's really good.
I love it.
Okay, and then some that are kind of like thrillers. This one's called The One. It's about a guy that takes, well, not just one guy, but people take a DNA test. It's about like later, I don't know, like in like, I can't remember what year, but in the future, there's a DNA test you can take that will tell you who your soulmate is. And it's just kind of fun to think about that idea, like if that could really happen. And it presents all these different problems. It's a thriller, so it's scary. But all these different things that can happen. It's just fun to think about. We read it for book club and we all talked about it for like over an hour, which is fun. It was fun.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Fantastic Land. It's about like teens that get stuck in a theme park, like Disneyland type theme park, and it's kind of like Lord of the Flies. There's all these like,
oh, cool.
I remember reading a book kind of like that when I was younger, like The Magic Kingdom or something. No.
Oh, I've read that one.
There's a book where like it's like the theme park's after dark and like all the magic that's happening, and it's not a thriller.
Oh, The Midnight Circus?
No.
Oh.
Sounds like a good book.
I've heard that one's good. I haven't read it, but do you guys want to throw in any? Or should I just keep going?
I mean, I'm loving this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. My favorite type of books to read are nonfiction. So I have a couple of those, like memoirs. A Very Punchable Face. I haven't heard a lot about it, but it's
the best.
Have you read it?
Yes. It's so good.
I think about it all the time. It's Colin Jost from like SNL, his memoir.
Yes.
And it's funny, and then I cried during one of the chapters. It's good.
It's really good. I'm a big SNL person, and Colin Jost is my dream man. I love him so much. But yeah, I like always loved SNL. And when I saw he came out with a book, I read it, but that's not really what I was expecting. I like to like look into like the behind the scenes with SNL and stuff, but just like, I wouldn't say I'm like a memoir type person, but I think that one really swayed me. It's a really good book. I love it.
Yeah. So good. Green Lights, Matthew McConaughey. Have you guys read The Alchemist?
Yes.
No, I need to.
That's a good one. Is it like that?
Well, I struggle with The Alchemist because I'm not good at like parable type books like that.
Oh, I
And
had
like
to read it like several times.
I like the story, like the lesson is teaching, but I struggled reading it. So Green Lights is like that, but it's Matthew McConaughey's life. It's like the same lesson, I guess.
Oh, interesting. I
And
like him too.
it's really good. It's really
Okay.
good. Educated.
Oh. When people ask me what my favorite book is, that's usually the first one I say. I don't know if it's like my favorite ever, but it's definitely one of the best books I've read.
I feel like, yeah, it's about someone that grows up in like a fundamentalist or like survival type family. I don't know. They don't believe in like medicine or like doctors and education. And then she like finds a way to get an education and kind of like struggles with, I don't know, wanting to connect with like her family and how she grew up. But I don't know, with all her knowledge, because I don't know. Did I do very good describing it? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard because you like don't want to give away like kind of how it ends, but it's like really inspiring to me. I was like bawling when I finished
Yeah.
it, and it just like made me like so appreciative of my life and like the opportunities that I have.
Yeah, me too. And then let's see, should I do a few more? The Anthropocene Reviewed. It's by John Green. He like is a YA author.
Mhm.
I don't like his
like
YA
looking for
books.
Alaska or something.
Yes, yeah, I think he wrote one like that. There's a very popular one. I can't name the name of it, but this is just he has a podcast, I guess. I've never listened to it, but it's a collection of essays, and each chapter is he reviews like just things in his life, like Nathan's hot dogs or sunsets, just random things. And he like goes into the history of them and just like fun facts. And it's like a feel-good book. And it's very easy. Like I forced my family to listen to me read a chapter of it on a road trip, and they loved it. So I'll leave it at that.
That's
my list.
So good.
No, that's awesome. I'm definitely going to add most of them to I'm not a big survival. I don't know. Sometimes it like freaks me out. And I like to read like right before bed, and I don't know if I'll read like the thrillers. Yeah, but the memoirs I'm like kind of leaning into now. So I'll definitely, the Matthew McConaughey one I think is my top, and Educated. I know I will read it.
Yes, do it.
Where can people find you on Goodreads? Do you have your username memorized?
I don't know what it is, but Alexandra Esplin.
Okay.
I should put a link on it. Maybe I'll put a link on my Instagram.
Yeah. And what's your Instagram? If you want people
Esplina. It's just Esplin, ESPLIN with an A.
Yay.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much for telling us all your dating stories and advice and letting us sit with you.
Probe into your life.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know what I'm doing, but
neither do we.
Oh well.
No one does. Yes, but thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. It was fun talking to you.